All right, good morning, good evening, good afternoon, my brothers and sisters, ladies and gentlemen over at YouTube right here. Check this out. We live in a world what is quickly adopting the phrase or slogan, canceled culture. Now, we live in a world where feminists and women are claiming they just as good as any man and we're equal and all this other stuff, even though the Bible goes against it. Even though the natural order of thing in itself goes against it. I mean, I can easily prove all that. But I think my video should be this. Men, don't you think you ought to go on the offensive if you're working in these corporate jobs and stuff and you have women chasing you down and they're salivating after you and they're making passes at you? Shouldn't you report that as sexual assault? Why is it that it's always women reporting sexual assault, but never, ever, ever men? And if we're all equal, what's the damn difference, if you understand what I mean? Now, I'm just using the same logic and reason they do, but these women act like they so damn traumatized whenever a man so-called allegedly, notice it's always allegation, but when the news media get it, man, they run with it and try to present it as truth. But are you not amazed that all of a sudden, a man could have allegedly done something 30 years ago, Bill Cosby, and now he's doing prison time in his 80s for something allegedly done 30 years ago? Where's statute of limitations? Think about that for a second. But then you get other people who get allegations like this, like Bill Clinton, go scot-free. He flat out told you he wasn't going to resign. He didn't resign. He finished out his term as president. Now, he's kept that stigma on him all his life, but man. And then you look at some of these other people that have gotten passes and still getting passes. Donald Trump. I mean, he's had all kind of sexual allegations against him, and he was the president and still running around scot-free. So there's disproportionate injustice right here. But now you got Andrew Cuomo, who was calling for the heads of people, saying that, we really truly need to make and take these allegations seriously when women are crying sexual assault. Now his ticket is up. It's his turn. And he's doubling down. I'm not resigning. I'm not doing it. Well, it don't make no difference. They're going to impeach him. He's going to resign, whether he likes it or not. The mounting pressure. What's amazing to me is how all of a sudden even the Democrats and CNN and everybody is throwing him literally under the proverbial bus. Roger Ailes, Fox News, whatever happened to him? I mean, he got paid $65 million in severance to step down and leave Fox News amidst sexual allegations. And of course, Gretchen, Megyn Kelly, and all these other people, Miss America, and all these other people, that was her, they ended up, especially Gretchen, getting, they hurt at millions of dollars. Now, they're not back on the air no more or nothing like that. Now, Megyn Kelly is just now weaseling her way back in the spotlight over at Fox and stuff and getting interviewed by Tucker Carlson and all this other stuff. I don't think her and Hannity is on speaking terms or whatever you want to call it, and especially Judge Jeanine Pirro, Miss Plastic Woman. But isn't it about sickening, though, that these women, they're so traumatized. They are so damn traumatized 5 years, 10 years later. But they only are traumatized whenever someone is in office, someone is running for office. What do you think about that, Mother Carol? What do you think about that? Women who wait to come out 30 years, 20 years, 5 years, 10 years, and you really truly don't know if it's true or not, but yet and still society runs as if it's truth. What do you think about women who come out like that, acting like they're so traumatized, but they hadn't been traumatized all those years before the spotlight?
Right. Well, we're in a time of so much vanity anyway, and women really have a high opinion of themselves and of their value.
And I often say there's nothing majestic or divine about a woman anyway.
I will say this. Sometimes it is sexual harassment, but I would probably say 85 to 90% of the time. Let me give you an example. If a woman goes to a club and a man asks her, do you have a boyfriend? she would answer yes or no and roll with it, wouldn't think anything about it. But because someone else that works with them, which people that work together often have relationships, but if a man at her job asks her, she doesn't take the same standard. Now, I'm not saying that it's right for anyone to be harassed at work, because now it's more so women chasing men because of the diaspora of time that we're in, and it's really sad what I see. But to wait so long, if you're really that traumatized and you've really been done wrong, say it right then, because it doesn't hold as much validity if you come 10, 15, 20, 30 years later.
Well, most people say the reason why they wait to come out because they don't believe that anybody would believe their story. So here's the hypocrisy. So everybody says that, now that they can give a story because someone is either in office or running for office, all of a sudden they can be heard better when they're throwing a smear campaign. All this mudslinging that's going on. What say you about that?
Well, like I said, if you're really that traumatized and you are really that violated, you'll say, some women don't out of fear, but if it's a fear for your life, I understand, maybe not. But most women, if you're that traumatized, you'll say something right away.
So, men, I'm telling you right now, you need to start actually reporting these women for sexual assault, sexual allegations. I mean, really. I mean, if they're, and let's just see what kind of support you get from that. Because mostly, as you're going to be pretty much the laughing stock. The other day, I had somebody ask me, Pastor, do you agree with transformers? I don't agree with transformers in no way, shape, fashion, or form. Yet and still, see, I separate and I make the distinction between society and the way that I live. I make a distinction between that. My family and society. That's why I keep my family away from society as much as possible. Now, we do know how to function very well in society. But I try to make sure I keep them away from this cesspool of hell and this spiritual retardation or this spiritually retarded mindset that's going on today, because I don't want to be sitting up there rubbing elbows with all these people out here, and then the next thing you know, the residue of them get off on me and I'm starting to think like them and call it rational thinking. I'm not going to lose my morality. I'm not going to lose virtue. I'm not going to lose righteousness. I'm going to lose any of my morals, principles, and values that I've learned just to try to conform to society. You stay in your lane, I stay in mine. You cross me in any old kind of way, you're going to know it. But I think it's very hypocritical of them to sit up there and not give the transformers a fair shake when they are claiming equality, and they're getting all upset because men who believe that they are women. And I ain't gonna never use no pronouns defining man and woman. I'm gonna define you for what you are. But a man is over there, boys running in girls because they identify as a woman, running in girls track meets, breaking all the records and stuff. Mississippi, and this governor was the first state in the union after all this has went on for all this time to sign the bill to say that whatever gender you were born and whatever's there on your birth certificate, that's to what you are. And even at that, they made it so ironclad that if they can look at you and see that you have an anatomy of a male, you're not participating against females. We don't care what your mindset think. Now, you think about this, what the Biden administration done. Now, if you're a transformer, you can actually go into the military and use the taxpayers' dollars and get your sexual orientation changed. You can take all type of hormone drugs or de-hormone drugs to suit whatever your mind is telling you, even though your body is going to function different. And what's amazing to me about this is that they parade up all these people who want to go do this, but then they never, ever parade up the people who has done this irreversible surgery and how much trauma that they're going through. Just the other day I was looking at, I said, man, everybody is reporting all COVID-19, go get your vaccination stuff. And I said, let me type in over here and see how many people have actually died from this. You'll be surprised, from taking vaccination. It's all over YouTube. It's all over there. But then You know, you got certain people that can talk about stuff like this, and other people, they want to sit up there and try to ban, say we're trying to protect the public safety. I don't believe that in any way, shape, fashion, or form. Yeah, I'm still in Facebook jail, and they still won't tell me why. They still can't tell me why in any way, shape, fashion, or form. So I do notice that a lot of people are going to different platform stuff. But anyway, I digress. The bottom line is I think that it's hypocrisy. I think it's total unfairness to sit up and claim sexual assault 5, 10, 15, 20 years after. And then the truth is, if you're so traumatized, so why don't you look like it? I mean, the mindset of today is just unbelievable. It really is. Do I believe that Governor Cuomo up in New York is a snake? Yeah, sure, he's a viper. He's a snake. He sure is. You look at all the senators and the representatives that come out of New York. That should tell you enough as is. But it's just sad. Hey, but that's the world we live in. I say all these things because I want to ask you, what said you? Can you see this? Or am I just blind in one eye and can't see out the other?